Sir, is this a GTO? Man, that's a nice GTO you got there.
Extendo go.
Those are GTO wheels. Wow. Just bigger.
I mean, it's Extendo GTO. I mean,
wow.
Straight from
impressive
Australia itself.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Zach back here again today with Down South Racing, and today I'm here with my buddy Garrett's G8. You've seen it on the channel a few times, but today we're actually going to get to do a full review over his car. His car is a 2009 Pontiac G8. It originally has an LS2 6.0 block, but it has LS3 square port head, so it's now known as an L76. It has a custom grind cam in it from Rick Crawford Racing out of North Carolina. He's big in the G8 world. If anybody knows G8, you know him. It has pace setter, 1 3/4 inch headers, but Garrett eventually wants to upgrade to 1 7/8 to make some more power, as Cletus would say, I guess. But today we're just going to give you an overview of the car, show you all some features and stuff, and take it for a quick drive, so I hope you guys enjoy. Alright guys, and as you can see, this car is silver. The paint is actually known in the G8 world as a couple different things. You got switchblade silver or slate metallic silver. So the paint code is SMS, I guess, which would be slate metallic silver, but most people call it the other one, so it's hard to tell. But as far as cosmetic stuff, Garrett's is almost completely stock. He has, let's see if we can focus in right here, powder coated gloss black wheels. They're 19 inch?
Yeah, they're sport premium 19 inch.
They're 19 inch wheels, and he's got red painted brake calipers that you can see right there. But other than that, he's got a GXP rear diffuser, which we'll show you here in a second. And his car is basically a sleeper. Unless you hear it, you really don't think much of it, which is a pretty cool look. So let's go check out the rear. Alright guys, so as you can see, he has GXP rear diffuser, and he has custom quad exhaust, so they're 3.5 inch tips, 2 on each side, so they are quads. His car sounds pretty gnarly thanks to his full 3-inch catback system, although with some bigger headers it would sound even nastier. But he honestly had this car completely straight piped at one time, and it was, I would say, as loud as my car, or very, very similar. Now it's just, you can appreciate the sound because it's just a good deep bellow. As you know, LS and LT motors tend to be a little bit deeper than Coyotes, which are raspier and such. But I guess we're going to get him to start it up right here, and so we'll let him do that and see what y'all think. Guys, so these hood vents actually are active, so they can vent heat when needed. So Garrett's going to pop the hood right here, and we're going to check them out. Guys, so we took the cover off. This is what they look like, just up under the hood right there. But somehow or another, the more heat that needs to come out, these little rubber style grommets or something right here like move out of the way so you can vent more heat. So that's pretty cool for this to be a 2009 car. Alright guys, so if you can see those icicles, that's because despite it being a really nice day, it is actually 28 degrees outside right now, so my hands are turning red and already and such, and so doing this for you guys, so hope you enjoy. Alright guys, so we're under the hood here, and instead of me trying to ask Garrett 15 times what all's done to this car, because there is a lot, because he's done a lot of upgrades to, you know, make sure the car can sustain this power. He hasn't had it on a dyno yet, but, you know, it should be well over the 400 wheel horsepower range, so it's pretty fast. You've been a best of what, 12.3?
12.3, yeah.
12.3, so, and he's wanting to go a little quicker, but he originally had some tuning issues, but now he's got a new tuner, and so you can tell who that is and then go over, but we're just gonna video right here. Obviously got a catch can right there. Look at me knowing things. Anyways,
so well, like I said, my tuner, I'm thankful for him. Met him at LS Fest this past year at the Corvette Museum. It rained us out on the last day, so I happened to just meet him there. His name's Alex Day out of Virginia, Day Tuning.
He seems like a cool guy.
He's a really cool guy. You could look him up on Instagram, Facebook. His pages for his tuning. He's still pretty new, but
I'll try to put his link in here.
Yeah, he's got some records out there now.
That's cool
for the G8 world.
All right, so let's start with the go fast stuff.
Okay, so we'll start at the top. We got the intake manifold. It's a Vengeance Motorsports ported intake. Only the runners are ported, so it can still needs upgrading with the rod mod to direct for turbulence within the intake.
Okay.
There's little columns in there that help direct air, but people like to take them out to force more air in.
Mine, my Ported 18 has that.
Okay.
That 1320 junkie. Like as soon as, like on mine, they're like right here. They're like veins, and they run like into the intake, and so they're, I guess, like you said, shaved down.
Okay.
So it's all the way smooth. So that's pretty cool.
So yeah, similar things with the Cody. We go to the intake. Well, actually, throttle body. It's a Lincoln filter poured and polished stock L76 throttle body, which is the same as an LS2. It's a silver blade, so it makes LS2 versus 09.5 cars, which had gold blade LS3 style throttle bodies.
All right, cool.
Right here is a 4-inch mass airflow coupler by Spectra.
With a relocation, right? So it's,
it has a heat soak relocation sensor right here in the intake box, but it's got an LS7 mass airflow card.
Okay.
It just helps dial in mass airflow frequencies to tune the fuel in.
Makes it easier.
Yes, sir, it does.
Got you.
Varam over the radiator intake, very popular in the G8 world.
Yeah.
You know, they're pretty cost efficient and they do good work.
Yeah. So let's see now. And what type of? We already went over the cam headers. So what type of heads? No, they're.
It's stock 0821 heads. So a lot of LS3 cars have 0821s, but with the G8s, they got smaller LS3 valves that are non-hollow.
Okay.
So I'd like to upgrade to bigger LS3 valves, hollow stemmed, so it can withstand higher RPMs.
Makes sense.
I did do the trunnion upgrade, which is the rocker arm bearings to withstand higher RPMs because they have a tendency to fail. Needle bearings go everywhere. You'll be lucky they fall in the oil pan. But
be nice.
Yeah, hardened 7.4-inch push rod by BTR.
Okay, cool.
So
basically just, everything you would do if you were doing a cam swap and stuff.
Yeah, because they're DOD Motors factory, so you have those spring-loaded lifters to deactivate the cylinders. Got rid of those for done a full LS7 lifters all the way across.
Cool.
The cam we were talking about by Rick Crawford is it's a Lunati cam, sorry. It's a 219, 227 duration, 612/583 lift with a 112 lobe separation with no advance.
Whatever that means.
So,
I'm just kidding.
It's got a close lobe separation angle.
So now does that mean that it chops like quicker?
For the chopped aspect, I'm really not sure. I mean, most people say
that's more so in the tune, I guess, more than anything.
I mean, that's where Alex Day and I've seen like tuning is a big thing when it comes to making it chop. Is you've seen how it was before and how it is now.
I agree.
And I mean, the lobe separation angle has a lot to do with it, as well as duration, how long the valves stay open.
Makes sense. Well, I appreciate you bringing it out, my man. Let's take her for a quick drive, and then we'll wrap this thing up. This motor, guys, is so much smaller than mine, as you can see. I mean, look, I could reach down in here and work if I wanted to. I mean, I could probably take headers off from the top, which actually I believe you did, didn't you?
Yeah, I actually pulled them out of the top.
Well, lucky.
That's this side at least.
Yeah, that side for sure. That side's a little tighter, but still yet, I mean, like if you look at this versus a Coyote, I mean, a Coyote looks like a big block compared to this, which is the advantage, I guess, of an LS. It's a small package that makes big power if, they're set up right, so can't really go wrong with that, in my opinion. All right, guys, so you're back on some GoPro audio here because I have been unable to get the mic adapter for the GoPro just yet, so you'll survive, I promise. It's just going to be a quick, a few minute review, but key for the G8. Let's start her up. It's so much different than my car, like the way they start at least. Sorry, let me buckle so that'll go away. But LS cars always seem to take like that little bit longer to start, like turn over, I guess, and like Cody cars are just like boom, and it's just weird. You can feel the car shaking. I don't know if you can see me shaking right here, but it's definitely shaking with this big cam and stuff. Let's get some turn the volume off right here, but let's get some heat rolling. We're gonna go down some back roads right here, and then to end it off, we'll do a couple pulls and I'll give you my impressions and stuff. So here we go.
No, you're just gonna be pissed off.
All right, guys, so we got traction off. We're here on our road in Mexico, and I'm just gonna literally just mat it right here in sport mode. So. Shift's very firm, so that's the instant torque of the LS is definitely, way more than my car. But as far as top end, I can tell once it gets past about 5,000, it starts to not pull as hard. Not to say that it doesn't pull hard. It's just my car seems to shoot for the red line a little bit more versus this just kind of tapers off. But the initial hit of this is much stronger than my car as far as at RPM of what we are at. So that's really impressive. So let's take this thing down some back roads. You know, keep in mind this is a 10-year-old car. It's a 4-door family sedan. Garrett daily drives this every single day to work, back, everywhere he goes. He gets really good gas mileage actually as well, which is really impressive. You know, he averages well over 20 miles per gallon. He gets, you know, in the mid to upper 20s, you know, cruising down the road and stuff. And so that's pretty impressive. You know, coming to a stop right here, can definitely feel the weight. You know, he keeps a lot of stuff in here as well. But what would you say? A little bit over 4,000, just curb weight, I would say.
It's supposed to be right at 4,000.
Yeah, so right at 4,000.
Probably higher.
I can tell the brakes right here aren't quite as strong as my car, but he also doesn't have humongous monster truck wide tires and stuff. But we're gonna take this thing down some back roads right here. We'll let you know how it feels there. So see you then, guys. So one more thing about this car, it has a 327 swap rear end, and it has a 6L90/Z01/CTSV 6-speed auto style of converter. So it's a little bit different. It's a little bit better actually for boosted applications. But Garrett's plans with this car, the reason that it's currently at least not like a full out NA build like with heads and everything, is that he'd like to go Pro Charger eventually with this car, and I think he would be a monster. He wants to go something like a D1X, a little bit bigger head unit, you know. So, and as far as Century blowers in general, they're a little bit easier on the motor versus like a Whipple or, you know, like a TVS root style blower. But right here we're going to gear down. Let's see here now. Do a second at like 40 hit right here and see what it's like. See how hard it shifts? That's great. This car pulls very strong. Now you trapped what, 115?
Almost.
But basically 115,
yeah.
so it's like 114.9. So I mean, you know, it's obviously really quick. It's not, you know, the fastest thing in the world, but neither is my car. But that instant, you know, torque hit is very addictive, if that makes sense. And we're going through some corners right here, and the steering on this car is actually very communicative, and I like that. The handling is obviously not going to be, you know, world class. It's at the end of the day a sedan, and it's actually, you know, holding its own pretty well. You know, this is based off, like, if you've ever seen a Holden or like a newer Chevy SS sedan, this is the same platform that it's based off of and everything. So, you know, this is what the basically 5th gen Camaro, this same platform, yes. Correct? So that's, you know, obviously, you know, GM made that car handle very well in the end with the 1LE and Z01 and stuff. And we're going through some corners, right? And I mean, it holds its own very well. We're going to take this corner up here, which is pretty sharp, and let's see, dab a brake, and it's, wow, actually, what kind of tires do you have?
It's actually got some Nittos up front. One side's Invo, other side's Motivo, and the rears, it happened when my cousin hit a curb, so.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, I just had to roll with what I had.
It happens.
I got in the back, I got actually cheap tires in the back. They're Achilles ATR Sport tires. They're 245.
The fronts are actually handling very well. I mean,
yeah,
they're pushing it pretty hard.
They're in very good shape still. These older tires, actually, one of the tires was on the car when I bought it, and the other one I ended up buying when I got it on the sidewall, and it's a little bit newer, but they're still in good shape for their age and the tire. Probably got time to get new ones, but, you know,
budget's gotta live. Garrett's getting married here next year, so he's gotta save up for that before, you know, the fiance kills him for buying any more race car parts. We won't tell her, it's okay. But guys, I'm really impressed with this car actually. To be as large of a vehicle as it is, the steering is very good, I would say. And the brakes are subpar, I would say, you know, versus modern day standards, but you know, they do their job, I guess. The feel of the brake is actually pretty decent now. You know, initial bite is very good. The pedal has a little bit of a dead spot, it feels like it to me, in the middle. It's kind of like there's an initial grab, not much, and then, oh, you can see right there. So, I don't know, but the throttle response is very good with this tune. I mean, that's just barely. So, I mean, Alex Day's got that throttle right. But, guys, we're going to head back. We might do a couple more pulls, and I'll give you my final thoughts. So, here we go. Alright guys, so I'm in 4th gear right here, cruising at 50 miles an hour in Mexico. We're going to do a short 50 to 55 pull as you do, and so I just want to show you the torque. I mean, just throws you back even from 2,500 RPMs. And again, here we are taking a pretty quick curve, and the car's handling it just fine. But I mean, the torque is just unreal. It's just so much different than a Coyote, I guess. It's just, I'm so used used to the waiting, and then throwing you back versus this is just bang, right in the back of the seat. But this, you know, again, does taper off, so there's differences, obviously, you know, shortcut, pros and cons of each, but it's a cool experience. I suggest if you are a Coyote guy and you've never driven maybe like a higher horsepower LS type car, LT car, newer ones, I'd say get out and just try one. You might like it, you know, maybe don't hate on everything for once, but just try it. I'm trying something new, and I'm very impressed, actually, so it's kind of making me a little bit jealous, because as far as daily driving, instant torque is way more fun than high RPM power that you can't get to until you're going to jail speed. So, you know, like, I mean, honestly, my car doesn't shift into second gear until 50 miles an hour. So I get one run to red line before I go to jail. Second gear, you know, at the track, obviously, is almost 100 miles an hour. It's like 92 miles an hour, so it's crazy, you know. Unfortunately, I have airplane gears, which don't help, so, oh well, but...
With the new tire, it might be different.
Yeah, I also have a tractor tire on the rear, as Garrett tells me all the time, so he teases me a tad, but my radials are 26-inch, so,
yeah, so
they help a little bit. They help out a little bit, but we'll see. So, guys, we're going to head back. Again, we're going to do one last pull, full bore pull, if I can talk, and then we'll wrap things up. As you can hear, guys, Garrett has purchased no drone mufflers. I think they're doing great. Only not. Alright, guys, one last hit right here, going up this hill, so let's get it geared down right here. Ready, go! God, it shifts so hard. Lord have mercy, it shifts hard. I think it's very similar to mine, but I do think yours shifts more, I don't know, with more of a purpose, if that makes sense, I guess. Like, it just seems like it's quicker. Like, I feel like the firmness is similar, but I feel like yours is quicker. Like, I don't know, like it just goes on to the next gear. Mine like hesitates sometimes, and it's weird. Something cool about his tune that he's got with his new tuner, if you've ever driven a cammed car, you notice that at a stoplight or something, you know, it surges, or automatic at least. His tuner has added some timing while he's in drive mode right here. So as you can see, like, I'm off the gas and we're barely just idling, and it's much smoother than, for say, a normal,
like
I guess, yeah, like a 6-speed car with a clutch and stuff. So it's pretty cool, actually. So there's a lot of cool stuff done to this car, guys. Yeah, so I'm here with Garrett. If you didn't know, he looks like Cletus McFarland. So I mean, they're twins. I swear, Cletus is just 5 or 6 inches taller than him. So he's even taller than me, and I'm like 6'5", so that's impressive. But anyway, so I'm just gonna ask him a question right here, and I want to ask, why do you maybe, I guess, like the LS versus more modern motors? And I know I drive a Mustang, you know, Coyote motor, dual overhead cam, whatever, but there are, you know, tons of different, more modern motors than this and stuff. But for some reason, people always, I guess, seem to use these to their maximum benefit, and they compete and keep up and beat, you know, motors with way more technology, with, you know, 4 times the cams and twice the valves and all this, that, and the other. And I was just, you know, I just want your thoughts on that.
I think it really goes back down to, like, obvious things. People, it's cheaper, more cost efficient, more bang for your buck. That's what people look at. But for me, I grew up around pushrod engines, small blocks, Pontiacs. It's kind of what I seen when I was growing up. I mean, my first car was 85 Z28. I mean, nothing fancy. It was a turgid. I still love it. I built it with my papa and my dad.
That's awesome.
It was a 305 car. It kind of dropped tool pressure, so we found a 350 block. It actually ended up being bad too, so we just pulled it out again, rebuilt it.
So it was just, and something cool about this car, Garrett has built it himself. So other than basically the catback exhaust, which you had
D&D
custom made,
yeah.
Which is the same place I went to have my X-Pipe put on. I mean, you've done the cam swap, put on the headers, all the intakes.
Done the intake, the auto body.
You didn't have to change injectors, right? These are what, 42-pound stock?
Stock 42-pound
so
injectors.
You're good to go with that. But guys, I just want to get his thoughts real quick. But my man, I really appreciate you letting me take it for a spin.
For sure.
So check him out on Instagram. I'll put his link and his. You share an Instagram with a man who is it's pretty big. It's what, 40.
It was about 40,000. We've not been on it a lot,
Yeah,
so it's dropped a little
dropped
below 40,000.
But no, what's the name of it?
It's Muscle Cars Instagram.
So,
he could probably link it below.
Yeah,
It's got a couple of underscores in there.
I'll link it below, but that's pretty cool. You know, I mean, even if you operate an Instagram that's got that many followers and stuff.
Yeah,
so.
we just, as we grew older, you know,
Yeah.
it's hard to do stuff more
I
and
understand.
more. We started when we was about 16, 17.
Has a job now, so adult life. But I'm just kidding, guys. So I just wanted to talk to him real quick. So be sure to give him a follow, check out his G8 and stuff. And he's getting married, so wish him congrats on that. He finally done it after years and years and years. I felt like, but guys, I hope you all enjoyed. I'm gonna do my little outro right here, so let's go do that.
I'm curious to see what he thinks, guys, since I gave you my thoughts of Coyote to LS, so I'm going to see what he thinks of LS to Coyote. Alright guys, so he literally just got out of the car, so what do you think? So I gave my thoughts of Coyote to LS, let's hear yours opposite.
That's the first time I've drove it since it was just X-Pipe and
Yeah, X-Pipe and 93.
Is that all it was?
Yeah, I believe so, yes.
And it was tuned by who then?
VMP.
Just VMP?
So now it's Palm Beach, long tubes, ported 18 Manny.
Okay.
And E85 today.
I think I want to agree with what you were saying. Like I said, not as much instant torque, but definitely does carry through.
Yeah.
Especially, I was like, man, this thing ever going to shift?
What do you think about speaking of, I was going to ask you, what do you think? Pretty similar?
Yeah, it shifts. Like you said, it's probably not as violent, but
Yeah.
it does shift very, very firm still, yeah. And I did see that little 2 to 3 stutter you were talking about.
Well, without traction all the way off, I told him to put it in just sport mode since it is 25 degrees outside, and so we also didn't want to die. But you notice it though, for real?
Yeah, no.
It just barely. I could hear it even when you like. It's just like that split second of pause. So.
Yeah, and it makes great. Like I said, it makes great power. It carries through.
Yeah, so it's not
completely
bad.
different.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
The up top is pretty. It's a pretty good rush, and it past about 5,500, it pulls hard.
Yeah, and like you said, it don't feel like it's ever wanting to shift.
Yeah, it shifts at $8,000, so I mean it's just it honestly. So yeah, there goes demonetized. Better cut that out. All right, guys. So there you have a quick little comparison from two people of opposite ends of the car world, you know, for the most part. Even though we're buddies, you know, we don't bicker and fight like I guess the internet wants you to if you drive a LS versus Coyote. But Garrett's car is a extremely fun daily driver. You know, he gets good gas mileage. He makes over 400 wheel horsepower. It sounds gnarly. It's not too loud. I definitely think my car is, you know, stupid loud versus his right here is. It's just like you can appreciate the noise, if that makes any sense. But I think his car's beautiful. The only, I mean, real thing that's wrong with it is his front bumper here, and so he's wanting to get a GXP front bumper. But to be 10 years old and still look like what this car looks like is very impressive in my book. So I give it, I mean, if I had to, you know, give it out of stars, I'd give it a 4-star. You know, it's not perfect by any means, but it's definitely super fun, and it's pretty affordable actually. You know, most of the mods he's done while he was in college, you know, paid for himself and stuff like that. So, you know, you can work a decent job and, you know, still be able to afford this car and afford to have fun with it, which I think is awesome. Alright guys, so there you have it. There's my review of Garrett's 2009 Cam G8. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. Let me know if you are, you know, maybe a Coyote or LS guy and you've ever driven vice versa and your thoughts on them. Let me know if you have a G8 or anything like that. And maybe we get Garrett some races or something in here if he could ever get out of the house. No, I'm just playing. But this coming track season is going to be a fun year, I hope, for me and Garrett and all the rest of our buddies. And I hope for you all too, you know, if you have any goals. I really foresee some, you know, good goals. I hope me and Garrett both cracked the 11s, and we'll just have to go from there. But guys, once again, if you enjoyed, please leave a thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe for more videos like this if you haven't already, because we're almost at 4,300 subs right now, which is really incredible, guys. And you know, thank you as always. I never thought we would be here, but we're getting there slowly but surely. But guys, I'm going to leave you with one last view of this car right here. I personally think it's beautiful, and it's a timeless design in my opinion. But guys, until next time, peace out. See you later.